Hello and welcome back everyone. My first combat ship is complete and we are in a very crowded space here. Because we have what, maybe 3-4 different factions left to encounter at the very least. And whoever gets those little plants on the left here probably is feeling the safest right now because they are just isolated out in the middle of nowhere. And let's see, 5, 6, 7, yeah. 7 out of what, 12 or so empires I think it is. I don't know if that includes myself or not, so it's rapidly getting crowded. And I have my first combat ship ready if I ever get into a position where I want to go to war with everyone, so I do have to tread carefully. But right now, I'm feeling really confident because I already got these 2 plants, so I'm just going to carry on with what I have going for me essentially. And I have a new Forerunner to continue on with the scouting there. Almost at a point I kind of want to, with my research, I kind of want to get to work on enhancing my sensors some, because come on, the Eztrak is not cutting it. I almost want to rush a second mercenary ship, to be honest. Ooh, and there's the Thulium mine finally. I got 2 of them with the starbase. So, we're doing good. I got a bunch of resources that I've yet to really know how to make use of. Well, I kind of already know how to make use of them. I can get a Duranium refinery and the Thulium lab, which at some point I'll probably want to seriously consider. It's just not ideal here due to the fact I'm not going to have like connecting research labs, so that'll be later on down the road if I do that. Now, Eztrak, where are you going to go? Ooh, I found an ascension crystal. Not that I really care all that much, but it's good to know that there's one in my territory I could probably take advantage or exploit, either by training it to one of the other factions. Like I think the Iconians are centered around a ascension crystal type of victory, or at the very least they were based on one in my last campaign, so maybe I can trade that to them for some incredible value if I'm really fortunate. I need another constructor first so I can claim it before they get before the AI decides to get greedy like they are right now. Jeez, Iconians are way ahead of me there. I'm just slow in this campaign, and this is coming from the race that's probably the most mobile in the game, with the exception of the Altarians. Maybe I don't know what traits. I don't think Salins are as agile. Let's see, only 2 movements, so yeah. So maybe it's the Altarians that are like the fastest of the, at least this traditional type of Empire factions, and I sure as hell know my Iconians are not that mobile. They're all about infrastructure and raw production, so they are not a threat in that regard. And approval is about all average there, so I need to see what's causing that. It's just standard traits, isn't it? Because yeah, I don't have like anything to naturally boost approval, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. In case the bonuses or penalties start to become too much, that's going to be a risk, because the Iconians were all about, like I said, production and approval and influence, so I never really had a situation where I had a poor approval rating, so I'm going to have to keep an eye on that and adjust accordingly, I think. Speaking of which, what the hell do I want to get? What is this anyway? Oh, that's for diplomacy. Screw that. You heard it first. I don't care about diplomacy. Who would have thought? And let's see, universal translator that allows me to communicate with him, which I don't care yet either. Weaponry is always an option, but the most important thing is to get my transport ships. Weaponry is not that big of a deal. And I was talking about, let's see, I was talking about sensor range and all that, but it doesn't look like I'm going to get a whole lot. Do I actually focus on infrastructure now? Because that's going to be slow going anyway. Unless I get something passive like this raw production, so that's what I'm going to do. Because I only got like 1 or 2 buildings. It's not like that any enhanced infrastructure is going to be that useful just yet. Not until the population gets going. Now, Yesgard, where are you going? I'm pretty certain I may have just wasted a turn with you there, in fact. Not to mention all the anomalies were probably just already uncovered, so you searching around there is kind of pointless, I feel like. Nonetheless, oh. Well, apparently, Dragon already got the... Well, I guess that was from an anomaly, I want to say. A mid-range shootist. It's a different kind of racist. Instead of taunting you to just shoot at you indiscriminately. Oh well, I wouldn't expect nothing less of the Dragon, to be honest. I'm just want to keep an eye out for the Iconians to see what kind of ships they're deploying. Although the ships that are roaming around are probably the ones that they start off with, so nothing too exciting to talk about. And let's see, population is maxed out, so I want to boost that. Now the question is, where do I want to put it? Because this only gives me, what, 2 food? And this is kind of a smaller, well, small population world, so I'll just put it here. I'm not exactly sure what route I want to take with these plants just yet. So this is going to be a little tricky. Yeah, and I knew it. Iconians are stealing my ascension crystal, the jerks. You could tell they're aiming for that ascension crystal victory already. Although now that I'm already aware of that, whereas before they almost nearly won as from an ascension crystal victory, I don't think they're going to be a threat. I just gotta keep an eye on how many of those ascension crystals they have. That's really all there is to it. Just babysit all of them, and then murder them if they get out of line. Especially since I only got one ship here. Oh, I was talking about how the Kryn and Iconians are going to be difficult to decipher, to tell two apart. What is it? The Taurians and the Salans are going to be no different. I'm going to get a headache from this campaign, I think. Because, again, Kryn, Icon are right next to each other. Taurians and the Salans are right next to each other as well. Jesus. There's gonna be some cases where I'm gonna think they have double the influence or pop empire of everyone else at random occurrences. So I'm gonna apologize right now for that as we carry on. Because I'm gonna inadvertently think sometimes they're gonna be a bigger threat than they are, and probably prematurely go to war as a result to try and keep them from inflating too much. Okay, I thought the turn was still going. My bad. So let me explore the rest of this blind spot and annoy the dragon in the process. Never mind the fact that every other race is just flying there carelessly, so it's not like that big of a deal, right? Hell, they're doing it to my territory too. So we got another Bazaar down here, another Ascension Crystal, so Iconians are gonna love to get that there. I still want to try to grab one of them for trading purposes, but that's not really my focus right now, is it? And I'm not even building. Yeah, I'm not building any construction ships because I got the main things I need. Only other star bases I want are to enhance my infrastructure some with like the the production ring? What do they call it? Economic ring? Yeah, the economic ring. I was hesitant calling it that because I was wondering if that was more for like gross income rather than actual raw production. So apparently that's what I'm gonna have to get used to calling it. So the Fog of War is getting nearly uncovered. I don't think there's anything too exciting to find here other than just be aware of what the territory looks like. So it's gonna be pretty passive. Because look, no one has any actual warships aside from the ones that they got from survey modules, so everyone has like a single ship here. We have 2 missile ones here from mine and the Salans. The Dragon have their railgun. And there's probably 1 or 2 others around. Oh, and did I want to buy another mercenary? Let me have a quick look. There was another one here. Yeah, the H-12 Super. It's very fast and has really good sensor range, but that's not really going to be useful now, is it? What is that? Oh, that's movement. And what would be better is if there's something else I can use with the resources I have. Sadly, it doesn't look like I can do that yet. Not until I upgrade my mind ring some. But what are we looking at for the Age of War? Because, let's see, approval on any station. I know there's a lot of cool stuff here. A lot of cool, interesting traits, so I'm gonna have to take some time to look at it there, because some of these like boost actual production of your shipyards. One there boosts the morale or the approval of the plant that's garrisoning. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of other stuff there. I'm gonna have to look at it at a later time, but for the moment, I don't think I care about a raw scouting ship there. It's just a shame the Jensgard's not going to be able to find any more anomalies unless I go deeper down here. Oh, and another bazaar. Interesting. And raw production is done. That's going to help with my production some. And I kind of want to keep going with the research, but that's not going to really help very much, is it? I'm not quite sure. What is this? Biological adaptation? Oh, that's an upgrade to the hospital for like population growth. So that sounds promising. Birth subsidies. That's another terraforming slot. So, and that upgrades the farm. So that's also a possibility too. I should start working towards the weapons. I feel like I should, but having only 1 or 2 ships out for a good while is not really going to help me in much effort, is it? Because I already got the Harasser basically for that purpose. And with the time it takes to build them, it's not really worth it unless I spend money to rush them. So I'm going to continue on with my research. Make sure the infrastructure's come along nicely. So yeah, hospital's done. Growth, well, it's maxed out now, so what I should do is rush a farm. Am I able to rush a farm? That will help keep population going at least. Yeah, it's only 300. I don't want to spend all of it at once, just in case, for like buying like harassers at some point. Because how much do these forerunners go for? Is it going to tell me? 300, so yeah. So yeah, I don't have to worry too much there. I might as well build 1 or 2. These are the ones without the thrusters though, so they're pretty generic, but they have the mobility. I'm just not sure what the hell I'm going to use them for. Because, oh, I have the salvager trait, so maybe there's a use of going to war and just destroying random things like the dragon's constructors. Because there's always a chance I can get that constructor or salvage that constructor off them, so that sounds promising. Also, fighting the dragon now will actually help with dealing with them in the future. I do gotta keep an eye on these personality traits, some though. Because right now everyone hates me. Only one who doesn't are Iconians and the humans. That's gonna change in a hurry once I start going to war with people. And you think going to war with the dragon or another malevolent race would actually make them like me more, so I wonder if that's actually possible or not. We'll have to wait and see, because this is a lot of downtime. It's really all this is, despite how clustered this region of space is. The Iconians and Kryn have their own little sections of the galaxy. They're lucky. We have like 2 or 3 down here, and there's possibly another faction over here out in the middle of nowhere, so they're lucky. They got all that empty space, but not really much opportunity for plants, but at least they're safe from the other races, especially me. They are safe from my retaliation at the very least, so. And I think what I want to do is try and get as far away as possible. Because apparently my forerunners can't go that far, so considering aside for the Kryn and Kryklon, I should be able to explore this region and no one else probably would have traversed this area yet. That's the theory, and I might have a chance of finding something in the process. Because I don't even know if the mercenary benefits from my traits or not. Because what is it? 85 health for a medium ship. So it's losing health from somewhere, but the Eztrak, Yeah, it is the Eztrak, right? I'm I'm a little paranoid that I don't even remember how to say my own race's name now. Yeah, the Eztrak there, okay. Now that we got that out of the way, let's continue on with the campaign, shall we? Although I did lose my train of thought, so that's not a good sign. Oh, I was talking about whether it lost health due to my race or traits or not. I want to say it doesn't because I only am giving it like a 10% health decrease. Maybe? Maybe it's 15%, maybe I'm wrong, in which case that's actually accurate, so if that's true, it's also benefiting from the 2 movement I have for being agile. Ooh, manufacturing relic, that sounds promising. Who owns that though? Probably Sailors? Ooh, dragon. I got a nice incentive to go to war with you now, later on. I could steal that starbase from you. Although, I'm gonna need a lot of ships or small, well-equipped small-scale ships if I'm gonna effectively take out that starbase. And Iconians are just focusing on the raw production, which probably works out well here, considering they got multiple planets to benefit off it. So, how are the plants looking? Xenolab is building at Ren. I kind of want to fix that because I don't quite want to upgrade. Which one's Ren? I don't want to worry about the enhanced the research lab just yet. I want that population going. So, where's a good spot for it? Might as well put it here. Actually, I may want to put it there because there's no reason I want to benefit from influence, right? It's still something I need to keep an eye on, so I'll leave that slot open in case I want to benefit from it, because I'm going to be competing with a lot of other factions. Despite how big my territory looks right now, as soon as there's no more room, I might get pushed back by all of them kind of clashing with me there. So, the poor Sailors, though, I feel bad for them. If it's possible for them to get culture flipped this early on, that's going to suck. What I'm really concerned about, though, is one of the other factions getting their worlds, if that were to happen. Because the dragons have a real possibility of getting this planet just from culture flipping at some point if it starts to compound on itself. Depending on how the influence looks, so I really need to be prepared for that kind of situation. I don't want the dragon to have any more power than I'm willing to give him. And having an extra planet for free is not ideal. So we have an idle colony. What is that from? Oh, that's Crux. So that finished the farm. We have population going, a small bit anyway. And yeah, that'll be maxed out again in like 10 turns. So maybe I want to get ready to upgrade the farm. And what's the side bonus here? Manufacturing. So let me do that. Even though, yeah, it's not that big of a deal. It's no different than the research lab, so I could have probably gotten away with some research labs here. But this is like the only synergy bonus I have for manufacturing, so it doesn't hurt. And I still am not quite certain how to best optimize these worlds yet, but I do want to get them developed if nothing else, so I'm okay with how it is. And I'm probably going to do a good amount of market centers here to benefit, well, like again, same reason like I was talking about with the factory. It seems kind of pointless here, because this gives me research and a wealth. So I could probably go half and half if I feel like it. Let me just put in our market center there, and then I might consider putting in our research lab down here, especially since with the capital city bonus as well. Still gotta contemplate on that. It's still early game. There's still a lot of production to do, and I did not get myself for production very as my strongest trait, so I'm gonna have a lot of enhanced buildings that it's gonna take an eternity to upgrade if I select my research wrong, so that is one of the things I'm gonna have to learn. Let's see. And I see research is done there. I'm just trying to get through this quickly so I can actually have a look what to grab next. Now I'm gonna run into the Kryn space. Oh, this is the Kryklon's territory. Is it? It doesn't want to tell me. Come on, tell me, you stupid thing. Oh no, it is the Kryn. Okay, my mistake. So, I guess there goes my idea of maybe finding something out here in the middle of nowhere. Everything's already been stripped clean, so never mind that thought. Now, I'd love to try and get a hive, because +4 raw production is good. What is this? Hyperion Matrix. Boosts this research of all my colonies, so that sounds good. I like that a lot. Let's see. Let me do something that's more passive. Gross income is good. Morale sounds promising since I'm already suffering from that issue. And I don't have anything to actually boost morale just yet. Let me get the Universal Translator. Maybe I could start trading for some tech. So that way I don't have to feel like I have to choose between the gross income and the approval. Because everything's already down below 50%, so far it's not a big deal, but I would like to keep raw production up, because that's going to be useful. The more raw production the better, but growth and influence may not be a big deal if the plants are already maxed out. So, approval may not be all that significant actually. I think it's a safe bet to go with the gross income. I'm starting to get some income out of it now. In worst case, I could probably trade the Duranium and the Thulium for something if I'm not going to use it. There's always that option too, which I used to good effect with all the Duranium I had in my last campaign. Oh my god, there was so much Duranium to mine. And not enough to actually take advantage of until like late game and had really powerful Duranium drivers. So yeah, that was fun. It's basically how I caught up as far as tech, besides the fact I just conquered the Thalans and like basically tripled my territory size because the Thalans were like the most powerful in the campaign. Speaking of which, I'm considered the most powerful, probably due to my extra colony, if I were to assume. Because this is, yeah, I'm assuming Drangi or Kona, one of those is like the smaller planet. Class 6, yeah. And then they got one normal one. I'm assuming that's the case for almost all of them. They all got one additional planet there, while I was lucky enough to get 2. So I think I'm just, no matter what I do, I think I'm in good shape. I just want to try and grab some more stuff. Like maybe, if I'm quick, I can actually grab this, I can probably grab the Duranium there. I need to make sure it's not taken already. I'm assuming it is, but it doesn't want to tell me. And Universal Translator is about to be done, so that unlocks potential for some trade if I want to. Be malevolent though, do I really want to do that? And already, let's see. Already, they want me to go to war on someone. That sounds fun. So, declare war on Iconian refuge and I get advanced construction. That sounds fun, but what the hell am I gonna do to them? I'm gonna do it. At the very least, I can start salvaging some of their ships. Now, am I already at war with them? Or do I have to declare it? Let's see, yeah, we are at war. I got free research out of it, so now I gotta rush a couple harassers, I think, to defend myself. Well, I got 2 harassers already once this one finishes, and I got a missile ship, which I don't even think Iconians have access to. So if I can start grabbing these constructors for free, maybe I can salvage them. That would be amazing. Ooh, I actually can do it right now. 25% chance I get a free constructor. Already it's working out well for me. Although this is part of the concern I have with things starting to snowball, especially being so aggressive so early. And there's not really much the Iconians can do about it. I don't even think they have the tech to actually build any combat ships, so I'm just gonna steal from them in that case. But I'm gonna have to start house ruling it somehow, that this doesn't end too quickly and doesn't get too snowbally, because where's the fun in that?